No Stone Left Alone is a new generational Canadian way to remember. So many volunteers across this country are really tapping in to the younger generation who was very removed not only from the history of what we've experienced here in Canada, but they really didn't have anything tangible to do on Remembrance Day. And so I thought, I'm going to focus on the kids. I'm going to focus on the youth of this country. And we asked all of them to write us a reflection letter to tell us, what did you feel? Does this mean anything to you? I'm telling you from those letters, the words of those children across this country tell us that they didn't know what remembrance meant, but they do now.
It is important to celebrate Remembrance Day because we need to make sure that all of the soldiers that have fought for our beautiful country that we live in should be recognized and honored.
It's important to celebrate Remembrance Day because many soldiers have died during the war and risked their lives fighting for our freedom.
We remember the soldiers by placing a poppy on their headstone. Even if your school is not there at the celebration, you can still do it with your family or by yourself. Hopefully you do it every year. The celebration made me feel sad because all of those soldiers fought for the country and they might not have come home after the wars and peacekeeping missions.
When they get on that bus and they come out here, they are completely respectful and changed. And they will stand there and you hear them say the name, Tom, I won't forget you, Captain. I will not forget you.
During the ceremony, I felt proud but sad about all the men and women that have served and are still serving our country today.
I'll always remember the last post at a moment of silence, using this time to recognize the soldiers that gave their lives to serve our country and keep the peace.
We were honored to be present at the ceremony and putting the poppies on the graves of the war-serving veterans. I felt as a very important citizen and student when I put the poppies on the graves.
I felt so proud of getting the chance to put poppies on the graves of the veterans. It made me feel a little bit sad inside though because it made me think about my family members who passed away in the hospital and how the soldiers fought for us, but we couldn't give them anything back in return after the war.
Being at No Stone Left Alone Memorial, I reflected and realized that the more we do events like this in school, the more knowledge people will have, and people will eventually take a bit of the day to honor people that gave us the rights we have today.
I think it's important they start at a young age because number one, most children have never been to a cemetery unless they've lost a loved one. Now they're wanting to keep it nice and visit. It's really bringing them to the reality that these were real people.
Many were grandfathers, grandmothers, fathers, mothers, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters that have died and lived while fighting for Canada.
My great-grandpa served in World War II, and my dad's good friend is a veteran and he went to Afghanistan. I really honored and thought of them when hearing others speak about what people went through and how much trauma they experienced.
We also placed poppies on gravestones to remember the soldiers who fought in war.
Watching this event happen was an incredible experience, remembering the fallen, the amazing soldiers, nurses, and the rest of our Canadian infantry.
We've touched the heart of like-minded Canadians that understand and respect our freedom and liberties, our safety and security, and they deserve to be remembered.
I'm very grateful that I got to be a part of this memorial ceremony 2 years in a row and reflect on the people that served and gave us the rights and opportunities we have today.
The soldiers that died in battle and still serve to this day inspire me with their respect, work ethic, attitude, and dedication. It makes me want to one day serve our country.
I will forever remember this chance that I got in grade 6 of putting the poppies on the graves so that no stone is left alone. I always wished of a perfect world with no wars but just freedom.